Okay, so I'll have you start in a child's pose. So come into the middle of your mat with your toes to touch, your knees towards the outside edges. Reach your arms forward as you relax your head down. And take a few deep breaths here. Breathing into your lungs, feeling your back lift, your ribs expand. And slowly breathing out, sinking your hips down towards your heels. Taking a few more full rounds of breath, really focusing in on your body. And one more full round of breath. And then reach your fingertips out in front of you so much that your elbows lift. Then lengthen through both side bodies, sending your hips back. Keep that length, walk your hands to the top right corner of your mat for a side stretch. Press into your right palm, send your right hip back and down. And come back through center, walk your hands to the other side. Press into your left palm, send your left hip back and down. And come back through center and take another full round of breath. On your next inhale, rock up to all fours and just start to move your spine around, whatever that looks like. Could be cat and cow, so dropping your belly on your inhale, lifting your chest, and as you exhale, rounding your spine. Or it could mean just moving your hips side to side. It could mean shifting your body weight forward and back. So take about 3 to 4 breaths, just warming up your body. You can even stretch out your wrists if you'd like. Do some neck rolls. Just being aware of what your body needs to start your practice. And last deep breath here. And then make your way to downward facing dog. So tuck your toes, lift your hips up and back. And if you need a little stretch in your calves, you can bend one knee, press the other heel down, hold there for a few breaths. And then when you're ready, you'll switch. And then you can keep switching back and forth, or you can be still. Taking a couple breaths, warming up in your first down dog of your practice. Will you ground down through your hands? So spread your fingers nice and wide. And you press your hands into your mat. So even like the tips of your fingers where you're gripping down, you hug your low belly in to lengthen your spine. Allow your heels to sink down towards your mat. And one more big breath. And let's start connecting a little bit of breath to movement. So as you inhale, roll forward nice and slow, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. 2 more. Inhale, roll forward, high plank. Exhale, down dog. Last one. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, downward facing dog. Then lift your right leg into the air, bend your knee open for fire hydrant. Flex your lifted foot. Press your knee up high, keeping your shoulders square with the mat. You can be still or add in some movement. You have one more full round of breath. The 3-legged dog, straighten your leg, hold here. So you press your heel up and back, lengthen through your side, another breath in. And as you exhale, knee to right elbow. And then inhale, 3-legged dog, lift your leg. Exhale, knee to right elbow, rock forward. One more, inhale, 3-legged dog. Exhale, knee to right elbow and hold, squeezing your knee and maybe bring it up towards your armpit. Press your mat away from you for 3, squeezing tighter for 2. 1, lift your leg in the air, 3-legged dog. Release your foot down, downward facing dog. And then lift your left leg into the air, bend your knee open. Flex your lifted foot. Good, press evenly through both hands. You can be still or add some movement into your lifted leg. One more breath. And then straighten your leg, three-legged dog, hold here, creating length through your entire body. One more big breath in. And as you exhale, knee to left elbow, rock forward. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow. Inhale, three-legged dog. Exhale, knee to left elbow, hold, squeeze it in. Again, maybe you bring it up towards your armpit, round out through your spine. 3, 2, 1. Three-legged dog, lift your leg up and back. Down dog, release your leg down. And take 3 rounds of breath. Nice, slow, controlled inhales. Nice, slow, controlled exhales. And then as you inhale, look forward, bend your knees. And as you exhale, step your feet to the top of your mat, ragdoll. So bring your feet hip-width distance apart. You can grab opposite elbows or just let your arms hang down. Or if you prefer, you can interlace your hands behind your back. So you choose which of those 3 variations you like. You can be still or move from side to side. And if you grabbed opposite elbows and switch out your grip, allow your head weight to relax down. Maybe shake your head yes and no. And then release your arms, bring your feet to touch. Stay in your fold, bend your right knee, keep your right hand down, lift your left arm up towards the ceiling, or up towards the sky in our case. Then release your hand down, switch, bend your left knee, keep your left hand down, lift your right arm. Release your hand down, and very slowly rise up to stand, 1 vertebrae at a time. And when you get to stand, bring your shoulders up, back, and down your spine. And as you inhale, reach your arms up, big breath in. Exhale, forward fold, lean forward nice and slow. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, fold, half sun A. Inhale, mountain, root down, rise up, reach high. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, plant your palms, step back. And then lower down to your knees. Shift forward, lower halfway, squeezing your elbows in. Hold here. Yeah, keep pulling your elbows in, creating length through your collarbone. For 3, hold, press up in 2, 1, press up. Good, no, not to up dog, just like a, yeah. Now lower your knees down again. We're gonna do that 2 more times, so it's like a mini push-up. Shift forward, lower halfway, squeezing your elbows in. Yeah, hold here, you're just gonna press yourself up in 3, 2, 1, press up. Good, 1 more time, shift forward, lower halfway. Squeezing your elbows in, keep breathing for 3, 2, lowering down in 1, down to your belly. Take a Cobra Pose, hands by your low ribs, tops of your feet down. Inhale, lift your chest, hold here and breathe. So press down through your hip points. Send your chest forward and up, lengthen through your low back. 1 more breath in. And exhale, lower down. Tuck your toes, engage your legs, press up, high plank. Downward facing dog. And take 3 rounds of breath. And last deep breath. And as you inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step or jump to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain, rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, high plank, step back. This time, keep your knees off the ground. Shift forward, lower halfway, squeezing your elbows in. You've got this. Hold here. Create length through your collarbone for 3. Moving through up dog in 2. 1, upward facing dog. Straighten your arms, lift your chest. Hold here for a couple deep breaths. Yeah, you can hold as long as you need. And when you're ready, you'll make your way to downward facing dog. And that's where we'll meet, is in a downward facing dog. And then we're going to flow through 2 more sun A's, breath to movement, and back to back. So as you inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step or float. So if you jump, land soft. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold, nice deep breaths. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or jump back, lower down. Inhale, up dog, lift your chest. Exhale, down dog, lift your hips. One more, inhale, look forward. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, mountain. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Squeeze your elbows in as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Take 3 rounds of breath. You're lengthening through both side bodies in your down dog, hugging your low belly in. That's called your Uddiyana Bandha. As you inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Chair pose as you inhale, sink your hips down, reach your arms up and back. Hold here. So bring in more weight into your heels. Yeah, so much that your toes might start to lift, and if they lift, then wiggle them around, release them back down. And then send your biceps by your ear, so pull your upper arm bones back. And as you do that, you'll squeeze your shoulder blades together. You have 3 more deep breaths. See if you can sink a little bit lower. Good. And one final inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. As you inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, rock forward. 3-legged dog, lift your leg. Let's go crescent lunge. So step forward, keep your back heel lifted, rise all the way up. So shoulders stack over your hips, arms high, and take a moment to get set up in your crescent lunge. So take up a lot of space on your mat, so much that your back heel is over the ball mound of your back foot. Right, and you lift your back thigh up into your hip socket. Feel that engagement. One more breath in. And as you exhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down. Hold here. Feel free to adjust your stance as needed so you can sink really deep into your front leg. Relax your shoulders out of your ears. Inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, extended side angle, right arm forward and down, left arm high. Hold here. So you can bring your elbow to your knee if you'd like, but still press through your back foot. And then inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, Chaturanga, cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, rock forward. 3-legged dog. Crescent lunge, step forward, rise all the way up, keeping your back heel lifted. And take a moment to get set up. Ground down through all 4 corners of your front foot. And then press into the ball mound of your back foot. And at the same time, you're pressing your heel of your back foot back. You're hugging your front right femur bone into your hip socket. One more breath in. As you exhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down. Let your gaze be soft over your front middle finger. Guide your left knee back behind you just a little bit so you open up through your hips. Then inhale, reverse, left arm high. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm forward and down, right arm high. Stay deep in your front knee. Rotate your right shoulder open. Inhale, reverse, left arm high. Exhale, Chaturanga, cartwheel your hands down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog, 2 rounds of breath. And we're going to move through that breath to movement. So as you inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, step or float. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose. Sink your hips to your deepest. Breathe in. Forward fold, release. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, Chaturanga, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog, breathe in. Crescent lunge, step forward. And as you inhale, lift your chest, arms high. Exhale, warrior two, nice and slow. Inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse, stay deep in your front leg. Exhale, Chaturanga. If you want to challenge, keep your right leg lifted as you lower. Good, inhale, up dog, both feet down. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. Crescent lunge, step forward. Breathe in as you rise. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Good, inhale, reverse. Stay with your breath. Exhale, Chaturanga. Again, if you want to challenge, keep your left leg lifted as you lower. Inhale, up dog, both feet down. Exhale, downward facing dog, 2 rounds of breath. We're going to flow through that one more time. Inhale, look forward, bend your knees. Exhale, travel to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink to your deepest. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, long spine. Exhale, Chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog, gazes forward. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose. Three-legged dog. Crescent lunge, step forward. Rise all the way up, breathe in. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Good, inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, Chaturanga. With your breath, inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Last side, left leg lifts. Knee to nose, rock forward. Three-legged dog. Crescent lunge. Good. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle. Inhale, reverse. Exhale, Chaturanga. Good, flow through, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. And when you get to your down dog, you'll hold for 3 rounds of breaths. You can hold in your down dog or you can hold in child's pose. And if you're in child's pose, make your way back to a downward facing dog. And then from here, shift forward to a high plank and hold. So keep your shoulders over your wrists. Yeah, your body's in one straight line. You're engaging your quads, so your legs are active. And you might want to bring your feet a little bit further apart because then you're going to reach your right arm forward. Think if you can keep your hips square with the ground. And then release your right hand down, reach your left arm forward. Yeah, hips stay square. Release your left hand, lift your right leg. Now keep your right leg, send your left arm forward. See if you can balance there for a couple breaths. Good, last deep breath. Release your hand and your leg. Lift your left leg into the air. Hold there, and then start to reach your right arm forward. Good, stay with your breath for 3. Releasing in 2. 1, release down. Stay in your plank. Good, hold here. Now bring your right knee to your right elbow. Hug it in. Good, send your leg back. Left knee, left elbow. Send it back, and then switch. Good, keep switching back and forth, knee to elbow. With your breath, you can move faster for some more cardio, slower for more control. For 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Regular high plank to downward facing dog. Lift your hips up and back. And then lift your right leg into the air. Step forward, crescent lunge. Rise all the way up. You can add a small bend into your back knee so that you can lift the front of your pelvis up. So your tailbone descends down. And hug your front femur bone into your hip socket. So you're engaging through your legs. One more breath in. And as you exhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down. Sink deep into your front leg. And then you open up through your hips. Press through the pinky edge of your back foot, squeezing your shoulder blades to touch. And inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, extended side angle, right arm forward and down, left arm high, hold here. Or you can bring both arms overhead and reach them forward so that you create a little bit more of a challenge. And you still are rotating your chest open. Good. From here, if your right arm is not already lifted, lift your right arm, send it forward, half moon pose. So you'll kick your left leg up into the air, square your hips open. If you have a block or something you can use underneath your right hand, a good spot for it. You can choose to stay here. You can hover your right hand, or you can bend your left knee, grab your ankle. Right? You choose which version you want to take, but try something. Right, if you grab your ankle, it'll be your top hand grabbing your ankle. Yeah, good. So try something that'll make you wobble a little bit. You have one more breath. If you have your ankle, start to release, and warrior 2, step back. Inhale, reverse, right arm high. Exhale, runner's lunge, cartwheel your hands down. Excuse me. All right, then start to hover your fingertips off the ground. Engage through your legs, reach your arms forward. Good, then warrior 3, lift your back leg into the air. Flex your lifted foot. You can keep your hips square with the ground. Option to stay right here, or option to take your top toes and tap them on the ground of your lifted foot. And then lift and lower. Lift and lower with your breath. Keep moving. So the only thing that's moving is your leg. You're still sending your chest forward for 3. Keeping it lifted in 2. 1, lift your leg up. Start to bring your hands to the mat, standing splits. And lift your left leg even higher. You can choose to stay here. You can take 1, maybe 2 hands to your ankle, or if you'd like, you can plant your palms, kick your feet in the air for a handstand. Or if you want some more cardio, doing some switch kicks are good as well. All right, but you have a couple more deep breaths here. So stay with your breath, whatever you choose. If you're kicking up into a handstand, we'll meet in a standing splits. Right leg down, left leg lifts. Good, and then you'll open up your left hip. So open it up and then square your hip down. And then open, square. Good, 4 more. Keep opening and squaring. Good, keep breathing. Last 2. Good, 1 more. Square your hip, big breath in, lift your left leg higher, and as you exhale, Shiva Squat. Bend your knee to the back of your right knee, either hands down or palms to touch at heart center. If you have your palms to touch, start to lengthen your chest forward. Good, then as you inhale, 1 Legged Tadasana, left knee up to hip height, arms overhead. Figure 4, ankle to your thigh, palms to touch, sink your hips down. So you can choose to stay here. You can take your hands to your shin. You can take your hands to the ground. You can even take an arm balance if you have flying pigeon. Or you can add in a twist by bringing your left elbow to the outside of your left foot. So there's a lot of options here. You choose what you need this morning. You have 2 more deep breaths. And you'll keep your left foot flexed and active to protect your knee joint. And as you inhale, one-legged Tadasana, lift your left knee up, arms overhead, eagle pose, left leg up and over your right, left arm underneath your right, palms to touch. And if that is hard for your shoulders, give yourself a hug, just like this. And then sink your hips down, keep your chest high, hugging everything in towards center line. Now keeping your bind, just start to unwind your legs, right? Your hips stay low, so it's like a one-legged chair eagle, right? So your foot kind of stays towards the ground, stays hovered, and then you do some pulses, very slowly up and down. So keep your chest lifted up high. Yeah, and pulse up and down with your foot lifted for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now send your left leg back, warrior 3 with eagle arms, and step back, warrior 1, arms up towards the ceiling. And sink deep into your warrior 1, pressing through your back heel, hugging your low belly in. And interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble warrior, send your chest over your front leg, maybe slightly to the inside. And if your shoulders will allow it, bring your palms to touch behind you so your fists fall overhead. And then release your hands down to the mat, Chaturanga. So flow through your Chaturanga and we'll meet in a downward facing dog. And take 2 full deep breaths. And as you inhale, lift your left leg into the air. Crescent lunge, step forward, keep your back heel lifted, and rise all the way up. So sinking deep into your front leg. Again, you can add a small bend into your back knee if that'll help you to lift up on the front of your pelvis, let your tailbone descend down. And that'll help you hug your low belly in, lengthening up through your spine, but you're also relaxing your shoulders out of your ears. 1 more breath in. Exhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down. Holding here for a few deep breaths, sinking deep into your warrior 2. Ground down through the blade edge of your back foot so much that the inner arch of your foot starts to lift. So you're not collapsing into your ankle. Then inhale, reverse. Exhale, extended side angle, left arm forward and down, right arm high. You can choose to stay here or bring both arms forward overhead. Good, stay deep in your front leg, rotate your chest open. And if your left arm isn't lifted already, lift it, reach it forward, half moon pose. Bring your left hand to the floor, a prop. Lift your right leg into the air, square your hips. You can choose to stay here, or you can hover your lifted hand. You can bend your leg, grab your ankle, maybe both. Maybe you change where your gaze is. So if you're looking towards the ground, maybe you look to the side. It's a find a challenge here. You have 2 more deep breaths. And if you have your ankle, release. Everyone very slowly step back, warrior 2. Then inhale, reverse, left arm high. Exhale, runner's lunge. Cartwheel your hands down, frame your front foot. Start to come up onto your fingertips, engaging your hips. Reach your arms forward. Warrior 3, lift your back leg into the air. And keeping your arms forward hurts your low back. Feel free to bring your palms to touch at heart center. And then an option to stay or option to take your lifted toes, tap them on the ground, and then lift back up, and then tap. Good, keep going, just like that. The only thing that's moving is your leg for 5, for 4, 3, 2, 1. Keep your foot lifted, standing splits, hands down towards the ground, right leg stays lifted. You can stay here, you can bring 1, maybe 2 hands to your ankle. You can plant your palms, kick your feet in the air on this side, right? Even if they kick up just a little bit and you want that cardio, feel free to do it. All right, but stay with your breath. If you're just staying in your fold, then hug your low belly and fold deeper to lift your leg higher. And then one more deep breath. And then wherever you are, we'll meet in a standing split with your left leg down, right leg lifted. And then start to open up your right hip. And then square your hip down. And then open and square. Good. Do a few more. Nice slow and controlled movements for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Square your hips down. Shiva Squat. Take your right knee to the back of your left knee. Keep your hips low, either hands down or palms to touch at heart center. If you have your palms to touch, lengthen your chest forward. Then as you inhale, one-legged Tadasana, right knee up to hip height, arms overhead. Figure 4, ankle to your thigh, palms to touch. And you can choose to stay here. You can bring your hands down. You can take the arm balance, the twist, right? All the same options apply, but you choose what you need most. And that might just mean keeping your hands right here and stretching out through your hip. If you've lost your breath, come back. On your next inhale, rise up, one-legged Tadasana, right knee up. Eagle pose, right leg up and over your left, right arm underneath your left, palms to touch. If that bind does not feel good for you, then give yourself a hug. And then see if you can sink your hips a little bit lower. Keep your chest lifted high. Elbows up to shoulder height, hands away from your face if you have the hand bind. Okay, then keep your arm bind. Start to unwind your legs, hips low, right leg comes to a hover. And then very slowly start to pulse up and down, keeping your chest lifted high for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then send your right leg back, warrior 3 with eagle arms. To warrior 1, step your foot back, arms up. And square your hips forward. So send your left hip back, right hip forward. Interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble. Send your chest to the inside or over your front leg. Then release your head weight down towards the ground. Good. I know a lot of weight's in your front leg, but you're still pressing through your back heel. And then release your hands down, Chaturanga. Flow through, we'll meet in a downward facing dog. And you take 5 full deep breaths, whether that's here or child's pose. Coming back into your Ujjayi breath, breathing in and out through your nose, constricting the back of your throat. And then you'll shift forward to a high plank. So if you are in a child's pose, come back up and then lower all the way down to your belly. And flip over onto your back. We're going to do a little bit of core. So we're going to start with what's called dead bug. So you'll lay on your back, bend your knees, shins are parallel to the ground. So your heels are lifted off the ground. Arms are reaching straight up. Good. Then very slowly, you'll reach your right arm overhead, left leg extends long. And then very slowly come back through center and switch. So just keep this moving slow and controlled, pressing your low back down. Good. Hugging your belly in, nice slow controlled movements. Keep breathing for 5, for 4, 3. Good. You're almost there for 2. And then 1, keep your legs where they are. Take your hands to your thighs. Still pressing your low back down. Take your hands to the tops of your thighs and you press your hands into your thighs and your thighs back into your hands. Flex your feet. Again, pressing your low back down. Keep pressing them into each other for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Then lift your feet straight up towards the ceiling. Take your hands underneath your sits bones if you have a sensitive low back. Good. And then you'll lower your feet down a third of the way. And lower down another third. Lower down to a hover. Lift your chest. Look at your toes. Good, then release your chest, lift your feet. Let's do it again. Lower down a third. Another third. Lower down to a hover, lift your chest, look at your toes. Last one, lower your chest, lift your feet. Lower down a third. Another third. Lower down to a hover, lift your chest, look at your toes, and then flutter your feet up and down. Good, keep breathing. And then scissor your legs open and closed. Yeah, you can cross them over if you'd like. Good, and then hold through center. This is it. Last 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Release. You can hug your knees into your chest. You can rock side to side, make small circles on your low back. And then you'll make your way to a downward facing dog. We have one short standing sequence left for some grounding. But we'll start by looking forward, bend your knees. And as you exhale, step or float to the top. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, chair pose, sink your hips down, arms high. And then bring your palms to touch at heart center, twist towards the right. So bring your left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. You can either keep your palms to touch, or you can make a fist with your top hand, press into your bottom hand to open up your shoulder. Then you can choose to stay here, or you can open up your arms, or if you practice side crow and want to take side crow, feel free to do so. If you're keeping both feet down, bring more weight into your heels. Yeah, your hips are lower than your heart. If you're in side crow, come back. As you inhale, come through center. And exhale, twist to the left, right elbow towards the outside of your left knee. Make sure your knees are in line with each other. You can keep your palms to touch, make a fist with your top hand. You can open your arms or take side crow. But on every inhale, you're lengthening through your chest. Every exhale, you're rotating your chest open. If you're in side crow, come back. Inhale through center, everybody. And exhale, forward fold. Bring your feet hip width distance apart. And then take your first 2 fingers, your peace fingers, around your big toes. And you can use that leverage to pull your chest down towards the ground. Send your hip points up high. And then when you send your hips up, also think about spreading your sits bones apart. Allow your head weight to release down. Release your toes, high plank pose, plant your palms at the top. You can choose to flow through a Chaturanga or just lift your hips for downward facing dog. And take 2 more deep breaths. And then as you inhale, reach your right leg high. Exhale, knee to nose, rock forward, hold here, squeezing your knee in towards your face. Good, keep rounding out through your spine. 1 more big breath. And then step your foot between your hands, Crescent Lunge, rise all the way up. Then palms to touch at heart center, twist to the right, bring your left elbow towards the outside of your right knee. And then once you find your twist, re-engage your back leg. Press through your back heel, sending your chest forward, lengthening through your spine. Every breath in, lengthen. Every breath out, twist. Small, tiny micro movements. 1 more deep breath. Stay for your exhale and twist. And as you inhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down, rise all the way up, hold here. So sink to your deepest. And interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble, send your chest to the inside of your front leg. And press, if your shoulder and your knee touch, press them into each other. Create some resistance there. And then slowly rise up, warrior 2. Stay deep in your front leg. And then inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your front leg, right arm high. Exhale, triangle pose, right arm forward and down, left arm high. Press down through the big toe mound of your front foot, the blade edge of your back foot. As you inhale, rise all the way up to stand, wide-legged forward fold. Turn your toes so they're facing the same direction. Hinge your body forward. And you have 6 deep breaths. You can stay in your fold. You can move towards the middle split. If you have a headstand practice, want to plant your head, lift your feet, you choose. If you're staying in your fold, hug your low belly in. So squeezing in your core. That'll let you fold a little bit deeper. Relaxing your head weight down. And if your feet are in the air, slowly bring them back down. If you're in a middle split, bring your feet a bit closer together. As you inhale, lift your torso up halfway. Exhale, runner's lunge. Come bend your right leg, walk your hands to the top of your mat. Moving into lizard pose, so walk your right foot to the top right corner. You can choose to keep your back knee lifted. You can lower it down your back knee. You could choose to stay on your palms, lower down to your forearms. And then you can choose if you want to keep your right foot flat on the mat, or if you want to roll onto the blade edge of your right foot, allow your knee to hang open. So a lot of options here. I'll let you know when we're about halfway through, because you can also lift your chest, lean back, grab your ankle. So I'll let you know when we're halfway through if you want to switch to which variation you're doing. I invite you to stay with your breath. So again, if you've lost your breath, focus on the breath moving into your lungs nice and slow, and moving out of your lungs nice and slow. We're about halfway, so if you want to change variations, feel free to do so. And take 2 more full rounds of breath. And if you have your ankle, release. If you're on your forearms, come up to your palms. Walk your right foot to the middle of your mat. You'll take a half split, so send your hips back, straighten your front leg. And then you have the option to hold here for a couple breaths, and then you can move into a full split or whatever that looks like in your body, or you can hold here. So if you move towards a full split, you'll walk your right heel forward, your left knee back. You can support your pose as needed with blocks or pillows, blankets, anything underneath your hips. Right, and your full split might look a whole lot like your half split, and that's okay. And so really get into your hamstrings and hold here and breathe for these last 5 deep breaths. So you know how long we're going to be here. And last deep breath. And then you'll very slowly make your way out of it, come to a child's pose. So send your legs back, hips down towards your heels, arms forward. Let your hips release. Downward facing dog. Let's do that last side here. So lift your left leg into the air. Bring your knee to your nose, hold, round out through your spine. Bring your knee in as close to your face as you can, squeezing your belly. And then step your foot between your hands, crescent lunge, rise all the way up. Palms to touch at heart center, twist towards the left. So bring your right elbow towards the outside of your left knee. Then press through your back heel, lengthen your chest forward. And you have 3 more deep breaths, tiny micro movements with every breath. And 1 final breath. Stay for your exhale and twist. And as you inhale, warrior 2, spin your back heel down, rise all the way up. Sink deep into your leg. And interlace your hands behind your back. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, humble, send your chest to the inside of your front leg. Allow your head weight to relax down. Again, if your shoulder and knee touch, press them into each other. I know a lot of weight, again, is in your front leg, just like your humble and your warrior one, but still press through and ground down through the blade edge of your right foot. And then very slowly rise up, warrior two, staying deep in your front leg. Last full round of breath. Relaxing your shoulders down. And then inhale, reverse triangle, straighten your front leg, left arm high. Triangle pose, kick your hips back, reach your arm forward as far as it'll go, and then your hand down to your ankle, right arm high. Ground down through your heels, and then drag them towards each other so you're activating your inner thighs. And on your next inhale, rise all the way up. Turn your toes all in the same direction, wide-legged forward fold, hinge forward. This time you only have 2 to 3 deep breaths. I invite you to walk your hands underneath your body and fold to your deepest, relaxing your head weight. As you inhale, lift your torso up halfway, runner's lunge, bend into your left knee, hands to the top of your mat. Lizard pose, walk your foot to the top left corner. You can either keep your back knee lifted for an active lizard, you can lower it down for a passive lizard. You can stay on your forearms, drop down to your palms, and your foot can be flat or roll onto the blade edge. Again, I'll let you know when we're about halfway through if you want to take another variation. But take long, slow inhales and long, slow exhales. And as you're breathing in, you're breathing into your hips. And as you breathe out, you're releasing some of the tension that you're holding. Right? So if you feel like you're really gripping and holding yourself up, see if you can release some of that and let gravity do the work here. And we're about halfway through, so if you want to switch your variation, feel free to do so. And last 3 deep breaths. If you have your ankle, release. If you're on your forearms, rise up to your palms. Walk your left foot to the middle of your mat, half split. Straighten your front leg, send your hips back. Stay here for a couple breaths, and then you choose if you want to stay here or if you want to move into your version of a full split. And if you're moving into a full split, you'll walk your left foot forward, right knee back. And you're holding here for 5 full rounds of breath. Yeah, breathing into your hamstrings with every breath. See if you can release some of the tension. And one final breath. And after that breath, you'll make your way to a child's pose as gracefully as you can, sending your hips back towards your heels, reaching your arms forward. And from here, you'll shift forward to your belly. And then from there, you'll roll onto your back. And we'll set up for bridge pose. So bend your knees, plant your feet just out of reach of your fingers, arms by your sides, palms facing down. And as you inhale, lift your hips. So press into your feet and your shoulders. Lift your hips up high. You can either keep your arms by your sides or you can interlace your hands underneath your back. Right, and then you send your chest towards your chin, but your chin away from your chest. So you're lengthening through your neck. Seeing if you can release your glutes a little bit. Send your hips a little bit higher. One more breath in. And as you exhale, slowly lower down. Take a breath. And as you inhale, lift your hips up again. Round 2. This time, see if you can keep your arms by your sides. And then walk your left foot to the middle of your mat. Lift your right leg into the air. And then bring your hips down to a hover with your right leg lifted. And then lift and hover and lift. Good. Keep breathing for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your foot down. Lift your left leg. Bring your hips down to a hover. And then lift and hover. And lift. Good for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Release your foot. Lift your hips to your highest. One more big breath in. And exhale, lower down. All right, you have one more round, so you can do bridge, or if you practice wheel and want to take wheel, get set up. And as you inhale, lift up, last back bend. Right, and you choose, you can stay with both feet down, you can lift one leg in the air, hold it for a couple breaths, release it down, and then you can lift the other leg. Right, you choose. You have 3 more deep breaths with each breath. See if you can lift a little bit higher. And then last breath in, lift to your highest. And as you exhale, lower all the way down. Windshield wiper your legs back and forth very slowly. And then move to Supine Baddha Konasana. So bring the soles of your feet together, knees open wide. Or you can bring your knees to touch, feet wide. And then if your knees are hanging open, guide them to touch. Grab behind your thighs, rock and roll up and back on your mat a few times until you make your way to a downward facing dog. Doesn't matter which way you face, we're just going to do a little bit of stretching here. And we'll start with a half pigeon. So bring your right shin to the top of your mat, release your left leg long behind you. And then really lengthen through your spine as you fold over your front leg. If this hurts your right knee, you'll flip onto your back. You'll take your right ankle to your left thigh and pull your legs in towards your body. You choose if you want the regular half pigeon with your chest facing the ground or the modified version with your back down. And just breathe here. If you feel comfortable, you can allow your eyes to close. See if you can release any tension that you're holding in your hips, your hands, or your face. And 3 more full rounds of breath. After your 3rd round of breath, you'll very slowly release. Take any counter pose that feels good in your body. So if you're on your back, you can hug your knees in. If you went in a regular half pigeon, you can take down dog. And when you're ready, you'll switch to the other side. So whether that's in a regular half pigeon with your left shin at the top of your mat, right leg long behind you, or whether you're laying on your back, taking the modified version with your left ankle to your right thigh. Allow your body to fully sink into this hip stretch. And 3 more full rounds of breath. Long inhales, long exhales. And after your 3rd round of breath, you'll slowly release. Again, take any counter pose you need to release out through your hip, but we'll meet in a seated forward fold. So when you're ready, you'll come to a seated position, legs out in front of you. Move the meat away from under your sits bones and fold over your legs. If you have tight hamstrings, you can add a bend into your knees. And think about sending your chest towards your toes, your belly button towards your knees. So you're lengthening through your spine. And last deep breath. And you'll very slowly release, lower all the way down onto your back. Happy baby, bring the soles of your feet towards the ceiling. You can grab your feet to your ankles or behind your thighs, whatever is accessible. You can be still, you can rock from side to side. And if you're still, you would press your full spine down, pull your knees down towards the ground. One more breath here. And then release your feet, hug your right knee into your chest, release your left leg long, supine spinal twist. Bring your right arm out to a T or straight out to the side. Guide your knee across your body with your left hand. Then allow your gaze to fall over your right shoulder, keeping both shoulders grounding down. And very slowly come back up through center, hug your left knee in, release your right leg, left arm straight out. Take your knee across your body with your right hand. Gaze over your right shoulder, allowing this twist to be gentle. Come back through center, hug both knees in. Take any last minute movements you need here. So you have 5 deep breaths, whatever else you need. So that could be an inversion if you'd like to take a shoulder stand, waterfall. It could be just laying on your back, hugging your knees in. If you need another happy baby, right? Any other last minute stretch or movement that you need, take it now. And you have a few more rounds of breath to finish out your practice. And if you feel complete already, feel free to make your way to a Shavasana already. You have 3 more rounds of breath in whatever you're doing. And after your 3rd round of breath, you'll very slowly make your way to a Shavasana, which means you'll lay on your mat with your legs long, arms by your sides, releasing your shoulders down, allowing your feet to hang open. And we'll take one cleansing breath together. So big breath in, fill up your lungs nice and slow. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Open mouth, exhale, release. And allow your body to fully relax here for these last few minutes of class. And since I'm outside, you can listen to the birds, listen to the wind, and allow yourself to just be still. And you'll very slowly bring your awareness back into your breath. So lengthen your inhales and your exhales. And bring some small movement into your fingers and your toes. Start to roll out through your wrists and your ankles. Maybe move your legs from side to side. And when you're ready, you'll reach your arms overhead and take a full big stretch. lengthening from your fingertips all the way down through your toes. And then when you're ready, roll onto one side into the fetal position, hugging your knees in towards your chest, curling yourself into a little ball. Take a full round of breath here. And then press yourself up to a seated position, just a comfortable seat. When you get there, sit up nice and tall, palms to touch at heart center. Allow your chin to sink down towards your chest. Press your thumbs into your chest. And we'll acknowledge each other and our practice with one cleansing breath. So big breath in, fill up. Watch your chest rise into your thumbs. Hold it at the top for 3, 2, 1. Exhale, release. And if your eyes are closed, open them. Bring your thumbs to third eye center, the spot between your eyes. And together, we'll say namaste. Namaste, yogis.